you.
Do it again. Okay, so now it's recording. All right, perfect. All right, so let's start. We're going to start standing. We're just going to go back and forth here. Lift your heels, move your body through this. Everything moves. That's the whole point of this. So your body's moving before we ask it to do anything too crazy. And then we'll come to a stop here. Now, as we come to a stop, take your hands, reach them up, and then all you're going to do here, you're going to bend into your knees, bend your hips back and down, bring your belly to your thighs, but look up towards me, right? So your palms should be up to the sky, thumbs coming together. And then you're going to push your hands just straight forward so you come up, your palms are facing the top of your mat, all right? Do that 9 more times. We're going to do it 10 times total. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to come all the way up, sweep your hands back down. All right, now let's take our feet out super wide. We're going to take our hands up to the sky, and we're going to do our little windmills here. So you're going to bring your right, start with your left, bring your left hand to your right ankle. Take your right hand up to the sky. And then you come back to center, now go the other way. We're just going back and forth here. Those obliques going. Keep all of your joints straight while you do this, your legs, your arms, your back, your elbows. That way we start to wake up the obliques, the core is working a little bit, it's stretching the legs, it's stretching the arms. Let's do 3 more each side. 3, 3, 2, 2, and last one here. 1, and 1. All right, now come all the way up. Sweep your hands back down. Now we're going to bring our feet back together. You're going to come sit down on your mat. Try to sit without using your hands, right? So I'm going to come up off my heels here. Go all the way down. Now, so come down here. Our hook line scoops at first, right, to wake up those abs. So come down to the mat. Come into that hook line. That means your feet are on the ground, your knees are up to the sky. You're going to reach your arms out. Make fists, pull your elbows to your ribs. Take your chin to your chest, look at your belly, and then come down to that halfway point, right, that icky place. Let yourself feel it here. You want to keep your elbows squeezed into your ribs this whole time. And then from here, we're going to push our belly up to the thighs, kick your chin, look straight ahead, right? Tuck your chin, come back down. All right, so let's do that about 10 more times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now come back down here, right? So everything should be on, everything should be turned on, right? And then see if you can lift your feet up off the mat. So now we're here in boat, right? If you need to, you can have your toes on the mat, you can have your heels on the mat, but you're gonna reach your arms out forward. We're in boat, we're reaching those hands out long. Now bring your hands up, bring your palms together above your knees. And then you're just gonna twist to the right. Bring it back to center, now twist to the left. But try to keep your knees steady here. It might help if you drop your heels if you need to, right? Come back to center, and just go back and forth, right? Go to the right, come back to center, go to the left. Now what you're trying to do here is keep your knees still, right? So you don't want your legs to swish, swish, just your arms. And we're gonna do about 5 more times each side. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. Last one. 1 and 1. Now put your feet down on the mat, come all the way up, press your belly to your thighs, hug around your shins, tuck your chin to your chest, drive your forehead towards your knees. Use those hip flexors, so we gotta keep using them here. All right, so from here, you're gonna come back into your boat. So arms reach long, lift your feet up, and then we're gonna take it all the way down into a canoe. So you're gonna extend your legs long, let your shoulders hover over the mat. So now we're here, right? Now you can make this higher canoe, feet go up higher, right? Somewhere in between, the higher they go, the easier it is. Hold it for 3 breaths. 1 more. And slowly peel it back up to boat. All right, now this time you're gonna go back down to canoe. This time as you come back down to canoe, let your heels come to the ground. Take your arms overhead. All the way down. Scoot a little bit here so you guys can see my whole body. All right, take a little stretch here. Point your toes like through the tip of a pencil. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. And then from there, you're gonna bring your legs to floating table, right? So that means you bend your knees. Bring your knees over your hips, cast parallel to the ground, flex your toes, come back towards your face. And here's what you're gonna do here, right? Make sure those knees are right over the hips. Take your arms up to the sky. So right now, you should have your palms facing each other, fingertips pointed towards the ceiling. So the same way we're making this perfect L shape with our legs, we're gonna make an L shape with our arms. So you're gonna bend your elbows, your palms are still facing each other, but now your fingertips are going towards the back of your mat. All right, now from here, you're first just gonna lift your head and shoulders. You're gonna bring your elbows and your knees together. Right, so you're pulling those knees a little bit past your hips, pushing those elbows forward, but everything's still in an L shape, right? You didn't extend your legs, you didn't drop your heels. Just hold right here. 3 more breaths. You work to hold it because your head and shoulders lifted. 1 more breath here. Now from here, you're gonna let your head and shoulders come down. Take your hands back behind you so your fingertips are gonna touch the mat back behind you, but your arms are still in that L shape. Keep your legs in an L shape, drop your legs down until your heels tap the mat, right? So now you're like this. Then we're gonna bring it all together again. So you're lifting your head and shoulders, lifting your legs, bring your elbows and your knees together. Maybe your elbows have to come up more, maybe your knees come in a little bit more past your hips, whatever you have to do to get them to touch each other, right? And then you're gonna drop it back down. So your heels touch, fingertips touch. All right, let's do that 10 more times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. 1. Now, let everything drop down. Let everything come back up. Now this time as it comes back up, just for a second, right? Let your knees come in, hug everything in. Maybe you want to lift your head and shoulders. Now start to let your tailbone lift. So you feel it in your core a little bit more. Let your head and shoulders lift. Drive that forehead towards your knees. So you're curled up in that little ball. Now from here, we're going to open it back up into canoe. So you're going to extend your legs long. Let your hands come to your sides. Keep your head and shoulders up. Still hovering the head and shoulders. Still hovering the heels. Lift them higher if you need to. Hold it for 3 breaths. 4. And then from there, pull it all up. back into boat. Roll up into a little ball here with your feet off the ground, right? Your hands looks like you're in that doggy position. Then you're gonna let your feet come all the way down. All right, now, if you're not already, bring it to where your feet are at the very top of your mat. Keep your arms, reach them straight out in front of you. Tuck your chin to your chest, bring it down to your back. Now here, I'm gonna let your hands come to your sides right now. Bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees pull out to the sides. Right, what we're gonna do here, you're gonna try to lift those feet up off the ground. So your feet are still touching each other, right? Maybe you have to lift them really high to get it. Again, maybe they hover low. Again, it depends on your body. Now your hands are gonna come right between your legs. Okay, so we're first just gonna lift up and down. They're coming up. And those fingertips toward your heels, coming all the way back down, right? Do that 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now you're all the way down. Your heels are still hovering. Now you're gonna lift up. You're gonna stay up, and you're just gonna pulse. We're gonna pulse for 15 seconds, right? So it looks like this. You pulse. So you're pushing forward, but you're not coming all the way down. You're hovering. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let yourself come all the way down. Take the knees, hug them in to your chest. Right. Now from here, we're gonna roll to one side or the other. And then you're just gonna bring yourself up. So now we're coming around into a tabletop, right? So this is where we're gonna start here. I'm gonna turn sideways so you guys can see everything that's going on. All right, now, you can do this from tabletop, right? You can do this from modified plank, which means you move your knees back a little bit and you drop your hips so that you're in that straight line from knees to shoulders, right? Or you can do this from full plank, up on your toes, shoulders over the wrist, hips just below the knees, right? I'm gonna start from modified plank, show you, and then I'll show you the harder version and the easier version. But we're gonna do it first, right? You're gonna reach forward with your right hand and just tap in front of you. Right? And bring that right hand back right underneath your right shoulder. Reach that left hand forward, tap in front of you. Bring it back. Now you're gonna take your right hand, tap your left shoulder, drop it down. Take your left hand, tap your right shoulder, drop it down, right? So if we do it from tabletop, a little easier, looks like this. Tap, 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 tap. If we do it from full plank, come all the way out to plank, tap, 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 tap. All right, so I want you guys to do that about 10 more times each side, right? You choose your place where you want to do it from. Like I said, I'm going to do it from the modified plank. If you want to do it from full plank or from tabletop, you do that. All right, start with the right hand. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there, you're gonna push it all the way back to child's pose. Let your arms relax for a second here. Then when you're ready, come back up. Now, here's what we're gonna do from here. You're gonna come to tabletop, you can come to a modified plank, you can come to a full plank, right? What you're gonna do here, you're gonna take your right leg, lift it up, bring your right elbow to your right knee. I'm doing it from full plank, right? Then your left elbow to your left knee. And you're just gonna go back and forth, left knee to left elbow, really, right? Back and forth. You do it from modified plank, looks like this. You do it from tabletop, and it looks like this. Right, so you decide 10 on each side, right? So I'm gonna do 8 more here. 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. All right, now come down, take it back to child's pose. All right, now when you're ready, you're gonna come back up. Now we're gonna do that whole thing. We're gonna put all of that together. It's gonna be to the count of 6. We're only gonna do it 5 times through on each side, not 10, right? So it looks like this. I'm gonna come to modified plank. I don't know if I can make it in full plank. If you can, go for it, right? So when you're in modified plank, you can do this from tabletop. You can do this from full plank. Like we did at the beginning, right? We take those taps at first. So it's tap, 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 tap. But then we add an extra tap with the knees, right? Tap, tap. So it's really a count of 6, all right? We're gonna do it 5 more times. So count to 6, and that'll tell you where you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 more. Count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, now let yourself come back to child's pose 1 more time. All right, so we're gonna go back into tabletop later. Right now, let's give those arms a little break. We're gonna come around, you're gonna come back into hook line. That means you've got your feet on the ground, your knees up to the sky. Let yourself come back down to your back. So take your arms out long, tuck your chin, round it on down. All right, so we're gonna do our hundreds here, right? And then we're gonna do 2 different sets of roll-ups, right? So in your hundreds, you have options, right? Hopefully you guys remember them all. You start at a floating table, knees over the hips, calves parallel to the ground, toes flexed back towards your face. You can stay right here the whole time we do the hundreds. You can go between here and 45 and straight up to the sky as we count to 100, right? Each count of 5, you switch your leg position, or you start with your legs straight up to the sky and you go to a 45 and count of 5. Right? Every 5, you switch your leg position here. Right, so you decide where you want to be. I'm going to go to the middle one again. I'm going to start in floating table and go straight up to the sky. If you want to make it harder, start straight up to the sky and go to a 45. If you want to make it easier, just stay right here on floating table this whole time. All right, now everybody's going to lift their head and shoulders no matter what position you're starting in. If it gets to be too much as we count to 100, the head can come down and you're looking straight up at the ceiling, but you got to keep your shoulders and your fingertips lifted to keep the core engaged. All right, guys, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Exhale, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Inhale, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Exhale, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Inhale, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Exhale, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Inhale, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Exhale, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Inhale, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Exhale, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Inhale, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Exhale, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Inhale, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Exhale, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Inhale, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. Exhale, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Inhale, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Exhale, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. All right, let yourself relax down. Take your knees, hug them in to your chest. All right, now we're going to do our roll-ups. So you're going to take your legs out long. Take your arms overhead. The fingertips are reaching back behind you. So we're coming up straight this first time. So you have two options here, right? You can peel your upper body up off the mat. Reach your hands up to the sky and move back a little bit. We're going to run out of space. And then you're going to fold forward, bringing your spine into a C curve, reaching toward your toes. If you don't reach your toes, it's okay, right? Now, if you can do that, and you can just come up and down, your heels stay on the mat, then I want you to do 10, just like that. My heels slide back and forth, right, but they don't come up. If you can't get up without your heels lifting, right, you have to go like this to get up. Instead of doing that, what you're gonna do, you're gonna take one leg up, take the other leg up so that both legs are up overhead, reach your fingertips towards your toes here, and then let yourself roll up in that space, in that shape, using that momentum. All right, so let's do 8 more wherever you are. Maybe you're doing the dead bugs, that's one leg at a time. Maybe you're doing the straight ups. If you get tired doing the straight ups, maybe you switch the dead bugs for a couple. Always do the dead bugs. These seem pretty easy today. Switch, try a couple of the straight ups. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now you're gonna come all the way back down. All right, now what we wanna do here, we're gonna do some spirals. So the spirals, we go from side to side, right? Sometimes we do these as a modification, but I know you guys can all do the straight up or the dead bugs, right? We did that first. We wanna do the spirals here so we start to work the obliques, all right? I'm gonna take my arms overhead. I'm going left side first, just because that's the side that's to the camera, that's the side you guys will see. It doesn't really matter, you can go right side first, you're just gonna alternate your sides. But here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna sweep your hands over to that side, in my case, the left, right? And then you're trying to bring yourself all the way up. Now you might have to drop your left elbow to push up, and then you sweep your hands around till they're over your feet, just like when we did the regular roll-ups, right? You come back to the same side, sweep your hands over, and you wanna roll down. If you have to drop your elbow, and then come back around. As you do it the second time, you're gonna switch sides. You're doing the other side. I'm gonna do the left again just so you can see, right? This time, I'm not gonna drop my elbow, right? So I'm just gonna sweep my hands over. Now you can drop your elbow again if you need to, right? This is just a variation, a little bit harder, right? I do it without dropping my elbow, I keep my right hip on the ground, and I bring my hands over. Then I come down, same thing. I sweep my hands over, but instead of bending my elbow and dropping it, I just come down to my left shoulder and bring it around, right? So each time you go up to the same side and down to the same side, then you switch your sides. Go up to the same side and down to the same side, then switch, right? Keep going, you're alternating your sides. Doesn't matter if you're on the right and I'm on the left, right? Maybe you're gonna drop your elbow to come up and down. Maybe you're able to keep that elbow off the ground. Maybe after we've done a couple, you're gonna start dropping your elbow. That's okay. All right, we're gonna do 3 more on each side here. 3, 3, 2, and then last one. 1 and 1. And eventually, as you come all the way down, now just extend everything long. Point your toes. All right, now just roll to one side or the other. Push yourself up. So we're going to come back around to tabletop here. Now that our arms have had a little bit of a break, right, we're going to do some more work from tabletop. So come into that tabletop position. That's hands and knees, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. I'm going to come this way first so you guys can see what's going on. All right. So once you're in that perfect tabletop, take your right leg, extend it long behind you. Right, first toes on the mat, press that heel towards the back wall. When it feels okay, lift your right leg up to hip level. Your right toes are pointed towards the ground. Your right knee is pointed towards the ground. Your right hip is pointed towards the ground. Now take your left hand, reach it forward. Okay? So you want your left palm facing the right side of the room, the left thumb up to the sky. And push away from that with that right hand. So in Pilates, we call this bird dog. Yoga, we call it spinal balance, so I tend to call it spinal balance. Right, so we're here. And here's what I want you to do from here. Right? Take your right leg and cross it over so it comes across to the left side of your mat. And then drop your right toes down. My right toes are outside the left calf, right? The further over I can reach it, the better. I'm squeezing my inner thighs together. So I can keep myself up. My right shoulder is still right over my right wrist. So you're here. Now, last thing here, see if you can take your left hand and sweep it open. Your chest opens towards the left side of your mat. Your fingertips are reaching towards the back of the room. Really squeeze those inner thighs. Drive those right toes into the ground. Hold it for 2 more breaths. And then bring that left hand back to center. Pick your right foot up. Come back through your spinal balance. Right? Now, kick your right foot over to the right. Bring your left arm out to the left. Come to that awkward pose. You still want your right shoulder to be over your right wrist. See, I came way over, so my shoulder's coming past my wrist. Bringing it back over. Just want you to hold here. 2 breaths. And then bring it back through spinal balance. And then drop it all down into tabletop. All right, I'm going to turn around here so I'm on the other side. But you guys stay where you are, right? We're just going to do the other leg here. All right, so get set up in your spinal balance, in your tabletop. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. This time it's the left leg that's going to go long. Push your left toes into the mat, heel going towards the back wall. Look up. You want to feel this in your calf, right? This is preparation. And when you're ready, lift that left arm up to hip level. So your left toes are pointing to the ground. Left knees pointed towards the ground. Your left hips pointed towards the ground. Once you're good there, take your right hand, reach it forward. Now your right palm is open towards the left side of the mat, and right thumb is up to the sky. Full spinal balance, pushing away from that with that left hand. Don't bend into your left elbow, right? You want your core to hold you up. Now, take your left foot, cross it over. You're taking it off the edge of your mat. You want it to come down outside your right calf. Right, so just squeeze your inner thighs together here. Get yourself steady. Keep that left shoulder over the left wrist. And then take your right hand, sweep it open. Turn your chest towards the right side of your mat. Hold here, 3 breaths. Then when you're ready, take that right hand, reach it back towards the front of the room, kick that left foot up, come back through your spinal balance. Now you're gonna kick your left foot out to the left, sweep your right arm out to the right, hold here in awkward, 3 breaths. Bring it all back through center, and then drop it down into tabletop. So get down to tabletop here. We're gonna do something else in tabletop. Let yourself shift back to child's pose if you need it, right? Let your hips come over your heels to release that low back. Let your arms reach out long. That tension in the arms. Now we're gonna come back into tabletop here. We're gonna go back through our spinal balance. So we're gonna start on the right leg. Take that right leg long, lift it up. Take that left arm, lift it up. All right, so you're still in that perfect spinal balance. Right shoulder over the right wrist, right toes, right knee, right hip, all facing towards the ground. Left palm open towards the right side of the room. Left thumb up to the sky. Now here, we're gonna do some crunches. Let's do 8 crunches. You're gonna bend into your left elbow, bend into your right knee, touch them together under your chest, tuck your chin to your chest. So you watch them touch, and then open it all back up, look up. All right, let's do that 7 more times. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right now, as you come back through spinal balance, one last thing here, bend into your right knee, bring your right heel towards your right glute. Leave your left hand back behind you. You can grab a hold of that right ankle with the left hand, right? And then kick that right knee way up to the sky, look up. You can't grab your ankle, then you're just reaching back. If you could, you're still looking up, lifting your chest. So it's a back bend either way. Hold it for 2 more breaths. Now, take it back through spinal balance. And drop it all down into tabletop. All right, let's try that again on the other side. All right, so you're in your tabletop. You're gonna take your left leg, extend it long, toes to the ground, lift that left leg up to hip level. Take your right hand, reach it forward. Right now, you're gonna do those crunches here. So you're gonna bend into your left knee, bend into your right elbow, touch them together, tuck your chin to your chest, watch them touch, open back up. Do 7 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last crunch here. In the crunch, come back to spinal balance, bend into your left knee, bring your left heel towards your left glute, sweep that right hand back behind you, grab a hold of your left ankle with your right hand, really kick that left knee up to the sky, push away from that with your left hand, take your chin and your gaze up, back bend, right? And remember, if you can't grab the ankle, you just reach back there, knee up, look up, you're still getting that back bend. 2 more breaths. And release it back through spinal balance, and drop it all down. All right, now shift back to child's pose if you need it. When you're ready, you're gonna come up into tabletop. We're gonna let our hips come to one side or the other. We're gonna come back around through that hook line and lay back down on our back. All right? So we use the arms in our spinal balance work, right? We're gonna use them a little bit here. Not a whole lot, right? So we're still, they shouldn't be too overtaxed, hopefully, right? Here's what you're gonna do. Take your feet, bring them straight up to the sky. So it's like you're in a waterfall. Right, where we usually go at the end of class, where we will go at the end of class. Now you're really gonna flex your feet, you're pushing your heels towards the ceiling. We're gonna do our hip pops here. So we're gonna do like 8 or 10, right? And we're just gonna see how it feels. So what you do in the hip hop, you're trying to lift your hips up off the mat. So you gotta use your hands, right? You press your palms into the mat, tighten up your triceps. You're trying to kick your feet straight up to the sky, right? And then let them come back down. So it's like that, right? What you don't wanna do is kick them back behind you, right? If I really wanna kick them back behind me, I can get plenty of momentum going. Just kick them all the way back, right? You don't want them to go back. You just want them to go straight up. Now you might do this. You might find that your hips barely lift, don't lift at all. right? If that's the case, it's okay, right? You're just getting that little lift, you're feeling that belly tighten, you're trying with all your might to lift your hips, and if they don't lift, they don't lift, right? But I want you to do that 8 more times here, right? So it's 8, you gotta control it on the way down, so you're not just letting your hips slam down. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we're coming to a stop here. All right, now we're gonna do those again, but we're gonna add on a little bit this time, all right? So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna come into that hip hop, right? And then as you come down, right, hip hop, come down. As you come down, bend into your knees. So bring your legs to floating table, lift your head and shoulders, right? Now you're gonna point your toes, and it's like a heel tap, except we're gonna tap our toes. So you're keeping that L shape in your legs, you're just moving your hips, tap your toes to the ground. And then pull those knees back up. Now your hands come to the ground, your legs straighten, your head comes down, go back into a hip hop. Hip hop to the toe taps, right? In the toe taps, you gotta lift your head and shoulders, you bend your knees, go back to the hip hop. All right, so we're going hip hop, toe tap. All right, do about 8 more here. Five more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. You bring your legs up from that last toe tap. Hug your knees into your chest. All right, now from here, let your feet come down to the mat. All right, what we're gonna do here, you're gonna take your arms overhead, right? So you wanna use a little bit of momentum in the hands. You're gonna draw your upper body up. So it's gonna look like this. We're gonna come up. Now, as you come up, right, it might be hard the first couple times. You might have to take your feet further away. You might have to bring your feet further in, right? Find that place. And if you can only come up this high, then that's what you're gonna do, right? But really throw those arms forward. That usually helps you get up enough that you can come up without your feet lifting, right? My feet lifted a little bit on that one. That just means I probably have to take them a little further away from my bottom. Now, you're not just gonna come up and down, right? Here's what we're gonna do, right? Once you get all the way up, you're gonna take your hands, right? Make a fist, and bring it across, pull it back, take the other one across and back. So do that twice on each side. Okay, so bring your elbows to your ribs, punch, 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 punch. Once you've done your 2 punches on each side, extend your arms again, lower it back down. Take your arms overhead, come back up. Once you're up, elbows to ribs, punch, 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 punch. Arms long, tuck your chin, come back down, arms overhead. All right, so let's do that about 6 more times. 2, 3, 4, take it all the way down, arms overhead. 5 more times, up, and in, 1, 2, 3, 4, drop it back down 4 more times, right? Bring it up, the elbows, 1, 2, 3, 4, take it all the way down 3 more times. Bring it up, elbows in, punch, 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 take it all the way down twice more. Bring it up, elbows in, punch, 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 take it all the way down. Do it 1 more time, right, come up, elbows in, punch, 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 take your arms out long, drop it all the way down. Now, so we come all the way down here, we've got our feet on the ground, right, knees up to the sky. Take your hands to your sides, kick your feet straight up to the sky, right, and really flex your feet like you're gonna step on the ceiling. Right, now, we're gonna lift our head and shoulders. You're gonna reach your hands forward. Right, now, from here, just drop that left heel till your left heel hovers the ground. So don't drop it to the ground, right? Hover it off the ground. And then from there, your head and shoulders still lifted. Take your hands, reach them up. And then pull your head and shoulders up a little bit more, reach toward your right foot. Now drop everything down, drop your hands down, keep it hovering. I shouldn't say drop everything down, just your hands, drop them down, hover them, pull your left leg up, drop your right leg down, reach up, lift towards your left leg. Hands drop down so your head and shoulders stay lifted the whole time. Your heels don't hit the ground, right? As you switch your legs, your arms come down. Getting back, the arms go up. All right, so let's just do it like that 3 more times on each side. 3, 2, 2, last one, 1. All right, now let your head come down. Take both legs up overhead. Right now from here, we're going to take our arms overhead. And then interlace your hands overhead, right? To make a little one single fist with your hands. You're going to keep your legs up to the sky here, both legs, right? Just peel your upper body up and bring your hands outside your left knee. Come all the way back down, bring it back up, bring your hands outside your right knee. And just go back and forth here, right? So your head and shoulders have to lift all the way up. You're really peeling that opposite shoulder up as you come side to side. It's a 5 here on each side. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. Last one. 1, 1. All right, now you've still got that fist with your hands, right? Now you're just gonna lift straight up. Try to bring those fingers, or those knuckles, I should say, straight towards your toes. And maybe you can reach your toes, maybe not. I can't. Okay, come back down. Take your arms up high. Your legs stay steady. Do that 9 more times. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now this time you're gonna bend into your elbows and bring your fingertips behind your head. Feet still pointed straight up to the sky. All right, from here, right, I'm gonna drop my left heel, keep my right leg up. Again, I'm hovering that left leg, right? As I drop my left heel, I'm gonna pull my head and shoulders up. Now, you're gonna start to drop your head and shoulders down. As you do that, you pull the left leg up, but instead of letting that left leg come all the way up to meet the right, start to drop the right leg down at the same time. So your legs cross when they're at the middle, right? You switch, now your right heel's hovering, that left leg's up to the sky. Take a little crunch here, lift your head and shoulders up. Right? Try to keep your elbows from coming in, keep your elbows out to the sides. Right, then let everything come back down. Switch your legs, but you're switching them at the middle, not straight up, right? Once you've switched them all the way, take your crunch, lift up, come back down. Switch your legs, lift. Okay, so you're just going back and forth here, doing that crunch as you bring one leg up. Now, if you want to make it even more than this, right, then you're gonna lift up, right, and you're coming back down as your legs are switching, right, lifting up. So you kind of stay up, and you come down at the same time that you're moving your legs. Then you come, right? So instead of taking everything down, then moving your legs, you're constantly coming up and down. Do it 4 more times each side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring that left leg all the way back up. Now bend into your knees, hug them to your chest. All right, from here, you're gonna take your hands to your knees, rock yourself up to seated. Now we're gonna come around into our tabletop here. guys can see. All right, now you're gonna bring your right knee up to your right wrist. And then walk that right foot across, right? So we're gonna come to pigeon position. We're not quite done yet with our core work, right? So don't get too comfortable, but send that left leg all the way back so that your left hip drops towards your right heel, right? You're pushing up. Now, you're gonna take your arms out wide. Come to your fingertips, right? So you're here. And then you're gonna bend your elbows, drop your head down, touch your head to the mat. And then push back up. So I want you to do that 8 times, so 7 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now bring your hands back into the center, tuck your right toes under, bring your right knee forward, slide the left leg back. Now we're gonna stretch out later, right? But first, we're gonna do the other side. So we're just gonna go straight into the other side. So you're gonna slide your left leg all the way forward. Walk those left toes across to the right side of your mat. Move your right leg back, drop your right hip towards your left heel. Get that right leg nice and far back there. You wanna feel that stretch in your left glute already, right? But you're looking up, you're pushing your chest all the way up. Take your arms out wide, fingertips to the mat, so little cupcake hands, right? Bend your elbows, drop your head, push back up. 9 more of those. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now bring your hands to the center, tuck those right toes under, start to move that right knee forward. So you can slide the left knee back, back, and tabletop. Right now from here, we're gonna go back into that pigeon on the right side. So slide your right knee forward, take your right toes across, start to move that left leg back. Right? And again, you want to think about looking up. This time we're going to let ourselves come all the way down into it for a few breaths, right? So maybe this is it for you. Maybe you can drop down to your elbows. You want your hands, you want your arms between your right knee and your right ankle, right? So you don't want to take that right arm outside. You're not draping yourself over your right knee. You're draping yourself over your right shin, right? So you should feel it in your right hip. If this is too much for you, you can drop down to your right hip and bend into your left knee and bring it into a deer. You're still going to bring both hands inside your right shin, so between your right knee and your right ankle, right? And you can do this from deer, but pigeon feels really great to you, and it feels, and you can get into it, then I want you to just stay right there. Take 3 or 4 breaths. You should feel this in your right hip. If you need more sensation, if you're not feeling enough, start to wiggle those right toes closer towards the left front corner of your mat. If you're feeling too much, start to move that right foot back toward your groin a little bit. Take 3 more breaths. All right, now, when you're ready here, bring it back up to your palms, right? Now we're all gonna come into a deer position. So let your right hip come down to the ground. Bend into your left knee. Bring your left knee against the sole of your right foot, right? Now, from here, right, you're gonna take I'm gonna turn around here so I'm facing the front, just so you guys can see the face on here. You're gonna take your left hand to your left ankle. Take your right hand, now you might just have to be on your right palm. If you can, you're gonna drop down to your right forearm, right? You wanna still be able to grab a hold of your left ankle. So if you have to come up to your palm to keep a hold of your ankle, then do that, right? You're gonna lift your left knee up and then sweep it back behind you. Right? So this gets us a little stretch here in this left hip flexor, left quad. So that's what we're going for here. The more you push that knee back, the more you're gonna feel it. Now you can let that knee come down to the ground and relax it a little bit, right? If it feels better to keep it up in the air, keep it up in the air. Take 3 breaths here. All right, now you're gonna bring that left knee back against the sole of your right foot, release it, come all the way up. All right, now from here, lean to the right a little bit and kick that left leg all the way straight. So you're gonna end up here, with the sole of your right foot against your left inner thigh. And we're gonna do a pose called bow and arrow, right? In the bow and arrow, you drop your right hand to your right knee. Take your left hand to your left thigh, right? And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna slide that left hand down. Now maybe you can reach your toes. If you can, that's great, right? But what you wanna do here is be able to bend into your left elbow and let your left elbow rest somewhere on your left leg. So keep that in mind, right? And then you're gonna push into your right knee. You wanna push into it and straighten out that right arm, right? And then take your chin and your gaze up over your right shoulder. Peel that right shoulder back so your chest is spiraling to the right. Hold everything out. Good rest here. Let yourself come all the way back up. Now we're gonna take it around. We're gonna come back into tabletop, right? And we're gonna do that on the other side, right? So we start by coming in just to our regular pigeon. So you're gonna slide your left knee forward to your left wrist, walk those left toes across your mat towards the right front corner. Start to move the right leg back, drop your right hip down towards your left heel, right? Push up, look up, and then make sure both hands are between your left knee and your left ankle, right? And then you can start to sink down. Maybe you don't sink down, right? Maybe you stand your palms, that's okay. Maybe you drop down to your forearms. Maybe you drop all the way down to your head and chest. But remember, right, you're not draping over your left knee. You're draping over your left shin. Again, if this feels like too much to you, you can always drop down to your hip right now, left hip, and pull that right knee in against the sole of the left foot. Can't see me this way, right? And come into your deer, just folding right over that left shin from here, right? But maybe you're staying in full pigeon. That's okay too. With that right leg extended all the way. Take 3 or 4 breaths right here. When you're ready, bring it back up to your palms. Right? Everybody's gonna drop down to that left hip and then pull your right knee into the sole of your left foot. Come to that deer position. Right, as we come into deer here, your left hand goes outside your left hip. You want to grab on to your right ankle with your right hand. Right, and then from there, right, maybe you can drop down to your left forearm. If you can drop down to your left forearm without releasing your right ankle, do that. Right, and then you're going to pick that right knee up, swing it back behind you as much as you can. And the further back that knee goes, the more you're going to feel the sensation. Once you're back as far as you want to go, you can let that right knee drop down to the ground. You should still feel the sensation in the right hip flexor and right quad. If you want to keep it up in the air, keep it up. Take 3 more breaths. You're going to push it all the way up. Bring that right knee in. Come back up into your deer position. Right now, we're going to stay on our hips, right? You're going to lean slightly to the left here so you can kick your right leg all the way out. So now we're here. Let's see. Further back so you can see my whole leg. All right, so I'm here, right leg is extended, left knee bent, left sole of the left foot against the right inner thigh. Now you're gonna press into the outside of your left knee, slide your right hand down your right leg. Again, maybe you grab the toes, maybe not. You wanna be able to let your elbow come to the ground, so you're kind of leaning onto that right leg, right? I find it easier to grab my ankle, let my arm come down. Okay, you do it what's comfortable to you, but you gotta push in to that left knee, straighten out your left arm. Look up over your left shoulder. Let that left shoulder peel back so your chest spirals open to the left. Take 3 breaths here. I'm going to come all the way back up. Now, as you come up here, you can extend your legs. Right? And then you're going to bend into your knees, put your feet on the ground. I'm just turn around so you guys can see. We're going to lay down on our back. Now, either we're going to come to waterfall, or if you want legs at the wall and you've got the wall space, you're going to go there, right? You're going to roll down to your back. In waterfall, I take my hands to my sides. I just take my feet straight up to the sky, flex them right here, let everything relax, right? Get the blood to go from your feet where it pools all day back to your head and your heart. If you have the wall space, you lean against the wall. You come and you sit with one hip or the other against the wall, right? And then you swing your legs around, lay on your back. So now my heels are on the wall, but I got to scooch a little bit to get my glutes to touch the wall. Because the whole point, if you're coming to the wall, right, is to get as much of your leg as possible on the wall. You don't want to have just your heels on the wall and the rest of your leg away from the wall. The point is to use the wall as support. If you can't get there, or you don't have the wall space, it's fine just to do the waterfall with your feet straight up to the sky. So you choose where you want to be. Just take a minute or so. Get that full benefit of the inversion. Letting the blood, like I said, go from your feet to your head and your heart, getting that increased circulation. You're naturally lowering your blood pressure whenever you're in an inversion, and you're flooding the body, all sorts of anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. Lots of good things happen. You get a little bit upside down. Now, when you're ready to come out of it, we're all going to come out of it the same way. Bend your knees. Let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. Once your feet come all the way back down to the mat, you're going to roll to one side or the other. And push yourself back up into seated. And that's our Pilates for today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. I will see you all next week. We can talk about the weeks after that. Turns out I am not going to California.
Oh, really?
Surprise?
Because they made all sorts of crazy restrictions, and they were going to let us go to the rental house, but we were supposed to only have one household, and we were going to have my family and my sister's family, plus we, coming from out of state, would have been expected to quarantine for basically the entire stay.
Oh.
Leave the house. We weren't really going to leave much, but it just seemed like a lot. And yesterday was the last day that we could cancel and get a full refund, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I don't have the money. We'll do it again when we can all do something fun together. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm sad. I wanted to see
Too bad. So sorry.
But you know, Christmas in Texas. It's all good, right?
Yes.
So you will have Pilates next week, but we don't know what happens thereafter.
Yeah, we'll do it next week at this time on Friday, next Friday. The Fridays after that are Christmas Day.
Yeah.
We won't do it that day.
Yeah.
It's possible we can do it on a Wednesday or something like that if you guys would prefer that. If you guys still want to get it in. So yeah, we can talk about it more. But I don't know what you all's plans are for Christmas and that kind of thing. So
Who has plans this year?
I know, right?
None.
I had plans right now. Maybe nobody has real. Yeah, we could do it on the 23rd and the 30th instead of on, Christmas
Okay.
if that's what you guys prefer.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
And I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.